South Carolina is having one heck of a HBCU football season. Allen has shocked everyone and had the turnaround season up for the ages. Led by David Wright at quarterback. They got Bo Harrington at running back, and they look like a team that has a very bright future. And then you got Benedict, who just completed their second straight undefeated regular season, something that has not been done since Winston Salem State did it in 2011 and 2012, which goes back to what Chris said about them not having a dominant run, unlike having a dominant run like Winston-Salem State back then. Well, the numbers clearly show that's true. But arguably the biggest story coming out of South Carolina in the HBCU football is Buddy Pough's impending retirement from South Carolina State, having been the head coach of the team since the early 2000s. Easily the longest tenured head football coach in HBCU football currently, and he is set to retire soon. And obviously, he's going to need a predecessor. And many people believe that predecessor should be Chennis Berry, and he is very deserving of that position. But and South Carolina State should definitely call him. But if I'm Chennis Berry, I listen to what they have to say, and I say no. And here's why. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say with, there's nothing factual about what I'm about to say. I'm not about to say Chennis Berry isn't ready for this position. I'm not about to say that South Carolina State doesn't deserve him. I'm not about to say anything like that. This is truly an emotional take that I'm about to give. Benedict is a team that prior to Chennis Berry coming in as head coach, they had not even sniffed an SIAC title. And Chennis Berry came in and injected new life into that program. His first season, they went 5-5. Next season, they're undefeated and they win their first ever SIAC championship. And they looked primed to do it 2 straight years. When it comes to HBCUs, in recent years, we haven't seen too many powerhouse programs. And when I say powerhouse programs, I don't mean great for a year and then, don't replicate it the next year. I mean, consistently, year after year, you are a contender for being among the best HBCU football teams we've ever seen. Winston-Salem State had it when they had Connell Maynard. North Carolina A&T had it throughout the late 2010s. Grambling State has had numerous runs throughout their history. Jackson State had it with W.C. Gordon. That's what Chennis Berry has with Benedict, a team that has never been known for being a great football program. This is a chance to build up new programs that we haven't seen have that success. And I think the same thing about Allen, and I think the same thing about Edward Waters. I hope that Toriano Morgan, and I hope that Allen's coach was Teddy Keaton. I hope that he's able to, stay with their respective programs and able to build those programs up into a perennial championship contender. Because we've seen South Carolina State be great. So it's not about whether or not Chennis Berry is capable of doing it, because he is. Because we see what he's doing now with Benedict, and we've seen what he's done as a coordinator at Southern and all the other places that he's been. So this is purely an emotional take. I really want to see Benedict continue to reap the benefits of his recruiting, of his coaching, of his leadership. And I want to see more Benedict players be contenders for NFL roster spots. I'm going to cause a riot if Lubert Danellis is not on a NFL practice squad or a training camp on a team's training camp roster. I think Jerron Kilpatrick, one of their defensive backs, is going to be a guy that could potentially be on an NFL training camp roster or on an NFL practice squad potentially, or at least, given a tryout during the preseason. Jaden Brockton is a guy that I believe can be built up into a potential NFL caliber talent. We need to build up these institutions that haven't had that success. And the same thing, if we go to the CIAA with Johnson C. Smith, this is all about wanting to see new programs see success that they have never seen before. So when it comes to Chennis Berry, I'm not saying he should say no. I'm hoping he says no, because this is purely emotion based. But at the end of the day, money comes into play. He has a family, so I can't tell him what to do. If he believes that that's the best decision that he has to make to produce a better better life for the people around him, then more power to you. I wish you all the success, because at the end of the day, it's still within HBCUs anyway. But I'm hoping that he remains with Benedict and build up that program, and we eventually look back on them in the history books and say Benedict was one of the greatest dynasties we have seen in HBCU football, like Damon Wilson, Bowie State. But anyway, yeah, that's my thing.